Hello everyone, welcome to Inside Winston Cup Racing. Today we're in Denver, North Carolina at the Travis Carter Racing Shops. Now this team has spent a lot of time testing, as most teams have, during the winter getting ready for the Daytona 500. They've also wondered if they would be able to go to the Daytona 500 because of lack of sponsorship. Well, Travis Carter has some very exciting news to share with us today, and he'll be joining us in just a moment. We have some other exciting things coming up for you too in this half hour of Inside Winston Cup Racing.
We're nearing the end of our road to Daytona. The teams are all geared up and ready to roll to the annual Kickoff Classic. The crews have left and it's time to mix it up.
The green flag fell on Speedweek's 1992 with the running of the Rolex 24. And for 3 Daytona 500 hopefuls, it signaled the start to a demanding month of racing. We'll take you on a 24-hour trip with the Whistler Team of Champions.
The Melling Ford team, led by Ernie Elliott, heads into the 1992 season with a new driver in Phil Parsons. We'll take a look back and a look ahead at one of the most successful teams in Winston Cup racing.
Inside Winston Cup Racing is brought to you by coal-filtered Miller Genuine Draft and Miller Genuine Draft Light, taking the country by storm. And by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car.
In America, your car is not just something you own. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil with not one but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
All of these championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
Love songs.
But when banana skins are falling, I'll come sliding back to you.
Poetry.
She makes me laugh. She makes me sneeze.
That's beautiful.
Romance is in the air on Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell Sisters Valentine's Show. Wednesday at 8 and 11 Eastern on TNN, the Nashville Network.
In 1991, Travis Carter and his driver Jimmy Spencer had Banquet Frozen Foods as their sponsor, but they decided at the end of the season that they wouldn't sponsor the car anymore. So it has been somewhat of a tough winter for them, not knowing if they were going to have the sponsorship dollars they needed to go to the Daytona 500, which comes up just next week. Well, Travis Carter is here today to make a very special announcement.
Thank you, Ned. We are very proud to announce that Molly Black Gold, an aftermarket lubricant company, will be the primary sponsor for us for the 1992 season. We've done some testing with this product, found it to be very valuable, and we're very pleased to have them on board with us, and we're very thankful for that.
Well, we hope that your progress will continue, the progress that you and Jimmy Spencer made during the 1991 season, the first year of you two together, and we'll look forward to the progress on into 1992. Now, we've been following 3 teams on the road to Daytona, the Rusty Wallace team, the Dale Jarrett team, and the Davey Allison team, so let's check in now and see how they are doing.
Jimmy, you got one more week till Daytona 500. If you could control the clock, would you hold back time a little bit, or are you guys ready to go?
Well, I think we're ready to go as we'll ever be. You know, we can always ask for more time. There'll always be something left to do, but we're as ready as we need to be to go.
Well, you always need more time, but at this juncture of the game, we're ready to go get Daytona.
We're ready to go racing because we've had the same amount of time that everybody else has, and in this business, you don't ever really get done. It's just time to go.
The Interstate Batteries team has just finished a long winter of preparation. They've shaved their pit stops to 19 seconds, and they're ready to roll. A new team means new positions and new responsibilities. Machinist Doug Shack came over from Melling Racing. It's only his second race team ever, but come race day, he'll be ready.
That is about the least the amount, of the whole season, because I've done it for about 3 years now, changing tires, and I'm going to the front tires on this team, which I did after Atlanta race last year, the first Atlanta race.
For fabricator Bill Deese, it's a different story. This is his first job in racing, and he's never been on pit road. But on Winston Cup Sundays, he gets the tough task of carrying tires.
Jimmy tells me you got a big responsibility in Daytona.
I think it's real big, something that I've never even been behind the wall of a race, so I've always watched it from the other side, so it's a brand new experience for me.
Are you nervous about that at all?
I'm real nervous. It's just, the whole thing is, it's coming so fast that I think about it every once in a while. I have to work on something else because, it just really gets to me. But they say once you get through it once, you're okay.
Well, things are running pretty smoothly for this team, and they're finally set to head to their first race as a team. But even for the more experienced teams, it's a race just to get to the race.
Tuesday, February 4th, was the final day for preparation of Davey Allison's Fords here at Yates Racing. The day started very early. As a matter of fact, you could call Tuesday D-Day. The team began arriving at 6:45 a.m. Once all were there, a quick meeting to catch the guys up on the final decisions concerning Davey's cars for Daytona.
I think what we all want to do after really evaluating it is unload Calhoun on Thursday and just throw it at them every race. I know it's been a long winter. And I know Robert does. I know the entire race team does, but I appreciate the effort y'all give this winter. I know it's been a long winter for everybody.
This is the day we've been looking for, to get the cars in the truck. I think everybody's antsy to go racing, see what we've got. We've tested about 13 or 14 days this winter, and we're just anxious to go see what we have got for them at Daytona.
Checklists were checked, and it was off to the races.
You've got me under pressure.
Down by midnight?
Pretty close.
Bump steer was set, parts were gathered up, and the backup car was once again cleaned up. Finally, the number 1 car was loaded on the transport at 3 p.m. and the 28 team was literally on the road to Daytona.
At Penske Racing, the night before departure resembled Christmas Eve. The final twists and turns before the cars were polished, then pushed into position, poised for loading. The plan here is to take 2 cars, but attack speed weeks with the 0-2 car. The same ride Rusty ran last year in the 500, but totally rebuilt in the last 2 weeks of January and tested last weekend in Talladega. The Miller Genuine Draft team tested a total of 23 days, searching for the right combination to carry the crew to victory lane.
It's been a constant non-stop thrash for Daytona since we left Atlanta. And the guys in the motor room have worked 7 days a week, 12 and 14 hours a day, and so have the chassis guys and the body guys and the fab guys. And this is a whole winter's effort right here. So you really concentrate on Daytona a lot.
We've done our best. Eddie has built the best car, and I feel like we've done the best motors with the time allowed, and we'll just go give it our best shot. And if we run good, we run good. If we don't, then we gave it our best shot.
And how would Dickerson grade his team's off-season effort?
I'd give his team an A+ because just because of the effort they put into the car. This is as good as it gets right here.
Well, Travis, certainly those three teams have put in a lot of work, but they're not by themselves.
No, they're not. A lot of good teams out there. Everyone's worked hard. The Fords especially put up some impressive numbers for Daytona, and all the GM teams, we know we have work cut out for us.
Now, are those Fords going to be that much better once the green flag drops for the race?
I don't think so. I think due to the fact of experience, engines being pretty equal, I think the draft is going to help equalize that. And, of course, the drivers, some of these drivers have a tendency to do some miraculous things once that race starts.
Well, there were three drivers that ran this past weekend in a different type of race, and we're going to check in with them. But first, we need to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Sound quality is amazing.
It sounds so great.
No scratches at all.
That's when music was music.
It's got everything.
Ramblin' Man.
Benny and the Jets.
All on CDs.
Introducing Entertainment Weekly's Rock Archive CD Collection. It's free with a paid subscription to Entertainment Weekly.
Everybody's doing a brand dance now.
These drum licks are just thundering in here.
This exclusive Rock Archive collection has 30 of the most listened to hits from the 60s to today. Remastered and compiled for the first time on 2 beautifully produced CDs or 3 audio cassettes. And the Rock Archives will sound even better when you hear that it's free.
What?
Do I have to pay taxes on it?
It's free when you subscribe to the magazine everyone's talking about, Entertainment Weekly, at a savings of almost 60% off the cover price.
Entertainment Weekly is the postmodern farmer's almanac.
It's a great magazine.
Entertainment Weekly is like a quick fix on what's out there.
It's concise, it keeps me current.
I love the pictures. They kind of the behind-the-scenes look.
It cut to the chase. I want to talk about music and movies.
I like it because I don't have to be hip.
Entertainment Weekly's more than great reviews. It gives you the inside scoop and a behind-the-scenes look at movies, television, videos, books, and more. Call right now and get 30 issues for 4 monthly installments of only $5.99 each. Or use your credit card today.
Walk like
Do you think that's really how people walk in Egypt?
Call right now, and you'll also get Entertainment Weekly's Rock Archives, 30 classic rock hits on 2 CDs or 3 audio cassettes, and it's free.
Things like this don't happen to me. It's stupendous. It's outrageous.
Totally awesome.
It's inexplicable. How could you beat that?
Wishing I was Rod Stewart waking up with Maggie May.
So call and subscribe today. You'll save almost 60% on Entertainment Weekly, and you'll also get the Rock Archive set free.
This year, the excitement of the Daytona 500 doesn't have to end with the checkered flag. Join host Ned Jarrett following the running of the Daytona 500 by STP and call in to speak with NASCAR's greatest stars on Inside Winston Cup Racing, live from Daytona, only on TNN. Coming Sunday, February 16th, here on TNN.
Every NASCAR Winston Cup race fan knows that Jack Roush has become a major force in recent years with Mark Martin in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. And this year he'll have a second team with Wally Dallenbach Jr. driving. He has been a major force in IMSA road racing for many, many years. In fact, he has dominated some portions of that type of racing. He had a car last weekend in the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona with Martin, Dallenbach, and Dorsey Schrader as their drivers. Let's check in and see how they did.
Meet the 1992 Whistler Team of Champions. Mark Martin, Wally Dallenbach Jr., and Dorsey Schrader. The team debuted in Daytona last week, running in the red and white Ford Mustangs prepared by the Roush Racing Stables for the Rolex 24. Prior to Saturday's start of the race, Jack Roush reviewed the rules and mentally rehearsed his talented team of drivers.
It's been Max's opinion and Dorsey's opinion that by being down as far as we are this year, that we can come faster off the oval and our pit stops will actually be faster by the end. 60 miles an hour. We can go faster. Go as fast as you want, Mark. Yeah. Nobody call you down for going too fast. We got called down once or twice last year.
Dick Beatty's not here with his radar gun.
Good deal.
As the race approached, Schrader prepared to start the 15 car and Mark Martin the 11 car. The 2 Ford Mustangs were part of a 49-car field attempting the 24-hour chase for a championship. The Roush Racing team was emotionally charged at the start, composed, keen, and confident. But the game plan changed dramatically early in the race.
About an hour and 50 minutes into this race, Mark Martin crashed here in turn 5. Now, because of the configuration of the course, it took the crew nearly 30 minutes to get to the car. But now they're working on it. They think they can repair it, get it back to the pits, and then back into the race.
What does that do right there? That's your power steering. Don't worry about it until we get back to the pit. You're going to have to go real slow back. You won't have any power steering.
1 hour later, the crew had the car rolling, and Martin limped back behind the pits. There, in the shadow of Victory Lane, the site of 7 straight celebrations, the king of this 24-hour race waited while his men tried to put his horse back together again. And for the two-time 24-hour race winner, there was no comfort in past accomplishments. This crash left Martin and his Mustang shattered.
I just made an immature mistake. I just guess I'm gonna have to go crawl up in the hole for a while and feel real bad. I really let, the Whistler team and all these guys, there's 3 other guys driving the car, and I've been there before, but I'd rather be mad that somebody wrecked the car than be the guy that wrecked it, I tell you that much.
5 hours after the crash, the 11 car remarkably returned to the race. Meanwhile, Schrader, Dallenbach, and Robbie Gordon had slipped 5 laps behind, following a lengthy pit stop to repair a faulty brake light switch. But Roush never wavered from his sensible and soothing style. And when the class-leading Nissan was forced to the garage at 10:47 p.m. following an engine fire, Schrader took the lead. The confident captain and his consistent crew had capitalized on their plan of patience, performance, and praise.
We're going to check the rotors just for safety here. If we decide to change the front rotors, we'll also change rear pads. Except for that, there won't be a brake change, so we're going to go here in just a minute.
Might want to do the inside too, Max. I got another job for you when you're done with the windshield.
Max, if he says he wants his feet rubbed, you don't have to do that. I know that when you were a driver, you expected a lot of that, but rubbing your feet, when you're in the middle of one of these operations is not something that you got to do.
During the darkness hours, Daytona becomes a hectic highway of headlights and horsepower. But for Roush, the halfway mark of this race was rewarded with a respectable 50-lap lead.
The 15 car that Wally Dallenbach and that Robbie Gordon and Dorsey Schroeder are all driving has been just flawless, except for that early brake switch problem. It could have a problem the next lap and not finish for some reason we couldn't anticipate. But there's no oil leaks, there's no heating problems, the brakes are good, the engine is solid. We feel like that we're in as good a shape as we've ever been this time of the morning.
You're going to be out there when the sun's coming, it'll be in your eyes coming out of NASCAR 2 there, shining right at your eyes. I like that. You like that?
The morning went flawlessly, but with 2.5 hours remaining, Gordon pitted with an oil pressure problem. And moments later, it was evident this Mustang had made its last lap. But the car had built an insurmountable lead, and the Whistler team of champions had locked up an 8th straight win in the 24 hours of Daytona.
I didn't think I'd ever win this race. And, I've said this before, you work so hard at this race that coming in second here just isn't worth it. I mean, a win here is a wonderful thing, and it's the only thing that makes it worthwhile coming here. Second place here is just no good at all.
Well, a lot of people wondered if they could continue their dominance, and certainly they did. We need to take a short break, but as we leave you for this break, here's this week's Haviland Track Talk, which deals with painting a car, getting ready for the Daytona 500.
This edition of Track Talk is brought to you by Haviland. Add more life to your car.
Before a race car can even reach the paint room, it must first be serviced by the body men. Preparation for painting takes many hours of Bondo work and the dreaded dusty task of sanding, and more sanding.
You have to grind the entire car down because there's thousands of spot welds on them, and you have to get them all flush. Peck around on the car to make sure there are no low spots or high spots, and check the templates first of all to see how far off you are. And then you start mudding the seams up first, and then from there just continue on till you get the car straight.
From the time the car is fabricated to the time it's ready for race day often takes longer than you think it does.
With 2 people working hard, it'd take about 2 weeks to get them from the fabrication area to paint and buffed.
First they spray the primer on, then they add the coats of paint. Then it's sent outside to be buffed out, and then it's on to race day, the day bodymen fear most.
In America, your car doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. With not one, but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
Experience the drama, danger, and dedication of Daytona in this new CBS Sports home video.
Oh, I won the Daytona 500! I won the Daytona 500!
From the rough and tumble days on the beach right through the finish of the 1991 Daytona 500. Relive the most exciting finishes in auto racing history. To order by credit card, call 1-800-999-VIDEO. Daytona, drama, danger, dedication. It's just $19.98 plus $3 shipping and handling. Only a pit pass will get you closer to the action.
Night after night on Nashville Now. It's a who's who of country music, or even a who's gonna be. Rising stars, superstars, living legends, and familiar friends. You'll see them all if you're watching Nashville Now. Live. Weeknights at 9, 8 Central, only on TNN. The boys are back, February 23rd on TNN. NASCAR, NHRA, kart, the world of outlaws. Go inside the exciting, colorful, and dangerous world of auto racing with NASCAR great Neil Bonnet. He knows winners. Sports Sundays on TNN.
Speed Weeks reaches full throttle when the 1991 pole winners line up for the first head-to-head competition of the new year. We'll have all the highlights from the 1992 Busch Clash.
We'll also bring you the sights and sounds of Daytona as thousands of people flock to the world's most famous beach. And Daytona comes alive with the sound of racing.
And we'll bring you up to date on who's where in Winston Cup. New drivers, new teams, crew chiefs that have moved. All in next week's Inside Winston Cup Racing.
Bill Elliott and his brothers, Ernie and Dan, built a dynasty in Dawsonville, Georgia, in building the Ford team number 9. Then Harry Melling came along and infused the money into it that they needed, and they certainly have been one of the most popular teams all over the years. But Bill Elliott has left that team now to drive for Junior Johnson. What will happen now? Randy Pemberton takes a look at where they've been and where they're headed.
Over the past 10 years in Winston Cup racing, the accomplishments of Melling Racing have been well documented. But when 1992 opens up, Bill Elliott will no longer pilot the Ford Thunderbirds that are built here in Dawsonville, Georgia. But this team refuses to rest on their laurels, as in 1992, there are new goals and hopefully new successes. The gears have changed at Melling Racing. With brother Bill now sporting a new suit, Ernie and Dan are starting a new era as they shift into preparing engines and gears for Brett Bodine and the Bernstein Ford, as well as the Melling Ford and their driver, Phil Parsons. The team will also support employee Greg Trammell in a limited effort on the ARCA Series, as well as Bill's Busch Grand National car. Initially, you might conclude that spreading Ernie's talents too thin might take away from the Melling Ford, but Phil doesn't think so.
The fact that he's on board with us, and again, he's going to build motors for other people, but then he can do twice the research and development that that he could otherwise. So I think that'll be beneficial. I know it'll be beneficial to the other car he's building them for, but someone asked me the other day, what it feels like to be driving a Ford. I said, well, I've chased them for enough years. It's about time I got in one to see how it felt.
Evidently, Phil's Ford feels pretty good to him, as he was one of the fastest in preseason testing at Daytona.
The testing he's done so far this year has been, the car has been fast everywhere they've been. So, I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be interesting to see how good a job we can do for him. I think he's going to try to do a very good job for us, and likewise, we're going to try to do as good a job as we can for Phil. Regardless of who's in the race car, we're here to give it 100%.
The one ingredient that may be missing as the team heads off to take on the 29-race schedule is a sponsor, but it doesn't seem to be a major concern.
We feel good. We have the past reputation of the Melling Racing team, and with the economy as it is right now, it's difficult to come up with the high dollar that it's needed to run a team of this the caliber. And we think that we'll have a good enough running at Daytona and future races right after Daytona that will be impressive enough to secure something for us.
The biggest problem the Elliots face in 1992 just might be who to root for during the races.
I guess I'll need a program to keep up with who I'm going to root for, because working with Phil Parsons here with the number 9 car, and also working with Kenny Bernstein with the 26 car, I guess I'll have to root for Brett. And then Bill driving the 11 car, I guess I'll have to root for him too. So it's going to be quite unusual for rooting for that many cars, and I just hope the 3 can take the season and go with it.
And Dan certainly doesn't mean the 3 car of Dale Earnhardt. Melling has won 33 out of their 34 races on the super speedways, and this year just might make 34. As far as the crew of the Melling Ford is concerned, they're all intact, and they're prepared to attack this season the same as any other, full bore.
Well, our time's up for today. Hope you enjoyed the show, and our congratulations to Travis Carter and Jimmy Spencer, and we'll see you here on TNN next week, coming to you from Daytona.
Inside Winston Cup Racing has been brought to you by coal-filtered Miller Genuine Draft and Miller Genuine Draft Light, taking the country by storm. And by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car.
Transportation for Inside Winston Cup Racing provided by Fleetwood Enterprises, makers of a full line of excellent recreational vehicles. Communications for Inside Winston Cup Racing crew provided by Racing Radios, Forest Park, Georgia, the official communications of NASCAR.
The winners next on TNN Sports Sunday. Whether trolling the backwater or casting in peaceful still waters, when Bill's in search of big fish, he knows how to hook prize keepers. Follow Bill Dance to the best fishing holes in the South on his quest for the ones that won't get away. Brought to you in part by Zebco Motor Guide. Bill Dance Outdoors, 12:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Eastern on TNN Sports Sunday. This is America. A grand land of wonderful places. And some wonderful folks. It's freedom to grow. And to visit anywhere we wish. From the heartland to the great shores. And all this year, TNN, the Nashville Network, will explore America. Its cities, its neighborhoods, its parks, and its people. It's a memorable journey. All this year, when TNN explores America.